Hi everyone, it's Sal here. A very warm welcome back to another perfume video. I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to be talking about 5 intoxicating fragrances I have in my collection. So first up today, you guys, we have a really special fragrance from the house of Malik Perfumes. This one here is called Very Cherry Rose Chocolate Patchouli, and it is unlike any other fragrance I have ever tried, to be quite honest with you. So first of all, the bottle is so unique, you guys. Look at this. It's very old worldy, you know, very special, really interesting and beautiful. So Malik Perfumes is run by Matthew Malik, the perfumer. He's based in Canada, and all of his fragrances are sort of handmade. They're very, very meticulously crafted, and something I really like as well is the wax stamp. They're all stamped by him as well, so it's very like handmade, special perfumes. And he actually got in touch with me to see if I'd be interested in reviewing one of his fragrances. This one in particular really caught my eye, so I was very thankful when he sent it over to me to review for you guys. So like I say, this is Very Cherry Rose Chocolate Patchouli, so from the name alone you would sort of be getting an idea of how this fragrance is going to smell. Now, this is an extremely potent perfume. Matthew Malik's perfumes are not IFRA compliant, so he basically uses whichever ingredients he wants, and he uses the quantities of ingredients that he wants as well. So each of his perfumes are created using high quantities of natural ingredients. This is something that you wouldn't find in most perfumes actually. This is actually very unusual, and I have to say, as soon as I smelt the perfume, I could smell the difference, if you know what I mean. This is a very, very potent. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit of this fragrance onto my test strip here. I'll try and hold it up so you can see the atomizer. So the atomizer on this fragrance is really beautiful. I really like the mist distribution, so big thumbs up from me there. And I really, really like this perfume, you guys. I really, really do. It's like this thick, feminine, sweet cloud. Immediately you do get that black cherry sort of accord with the rose. I'm gonna read through the notes just now for you, just so you know what's actually in here. So in the top we have a black cherry accord, then we have May Rose and Orris Butter in the heart notes, and in the base notes we have 4 different types of patchouli and Cocoa Absolute. So as you can imagine from those notes, this is an extremely intoxicating fragrance, and I mean extremely so. Something this almost reminds me of a tiny bit is Cherry Coke, if you've ever tried that. That sort of rich, dark cherry coke kind of nature to it. It almost reminded me a little bit of that initially, just because of the black cherry accord in here and the very dark, almost slightly earthy or like chocolatey nature that this has. Something that kind of surprised me about this perfume is, although there's Cocoa Absolute in here, it's not obviously chocolatey. You know, it's not chocolatey in a milk chocolate sweet kind of way. It has a nuance of cocoa in here, but almost in a very realistic, raw, not bitter, but just a very raw way. It's not overly sweet, the chocolate aspect in here, I mean, and it's very subtle. And I feel like it just adds an overall depth to the scent. It's not overly obvious to me. And it kind of, the cocoa, I would say, blends in very well with the patchouli notes, so they kind of all blend in together to create this sort of dark, earthy, slightly chocolatey, rich base to this fragrance. This perfume is unreal, you guys, and something to note as well is the perfumer, Matthew Malik, he sort of explained to me that 1 spray or 2 sprays at the absolute most would be more than enough for this perfume. And even though he told me this, for some reason when I first received it, I sprayed, probably just out of habit, you know, I sprayed maybe 3 or 4 sprays of this, and it was just explosive, you guys. I mean, it immediately filled up the next room. So the projection and everything is just off the scale with this perfume, really. I mean, I sprayed too much. I did spray too much. But with this one, really, you only need 1 or 2 sprays at the most, and that is very true, I would say. And again, this is so unusual to me because I've never found a fragrance where that's actually been the case, you know? So most of the perfumes I own, even the really strong ones, I spray quite a lot of them, typically. You know, but this one, really, 1 or 2 sprays, you are more than good to go. So upon the first application, the cherry is really quite obvious to me, but then as it dries down a bit more, more of the rose sort of comes through, and eventually it's very, you know, those darker notes are coming through more sort of hours later. So the patchouli, the cocoa absolute, and things like that. So it has a really interesting journey when it's on your skin. Excuse me. The dry down of this fragrance is really, really interesting because it does sort of evolve, like it changes a fair bit, and it kind of, as it dries down, it gets darker and more intoxicating. Overall, this fragrance is a very, very seductive, strong, intoxicating perfume. You know, if you enjoy the likes of Oud Bouquet, if you enjoy Lannery Tresor, if you enjoy Oud Satin Mood, actually, if you really love those kind of fragrances and you want to amp it up even more, then I would say check this one out. You can purchase samples from him. The other thing as well is if you struggle to find perfumes that last on you, then I would definitely check out his fragrances because they are the strongest perfumes I've ever tried, hands down. And I think it's just because he doesn't hold back with the ingredients. He really doesn't hold back, you know, it's just very high quality stuff, you know. And I do believe, I don't think there are any musk notes in this particular fragrance, but with his other perfumes, he uses real animal musks as well. So it's almost like the traditional sort of style of perfumery, you know, the style of perfumes that you don't typically get anymore, almost like a lost, they're almost from a different era, his perfumes. So it's really, really interesting, you guys. Definitely worth checking out. I'm going to leave his website linked below. So this fragrance is fantastic. I absolutely love it. I mean, in the autumn and winter, this is going to be incredible. This is going to last me a long time because I only need to spray 1 or 2 sprays and it's just so strong, you know. This is a 50ml bottle, I believe. Yes, 50ml. So Malik Perfumes, definitely worth checking out, you guys. This fragrance is incredible. It's quite sweet, it's very likable to me. The only thing with this one is if you really recoil at the thought of patchouli, then I would just be wary because obviously there's 3 or 4 different kinds of patchouli in here, so he's kind of gone all out with that note. And I would say those notes definitely start to come through quite a lot throughout the dry down of the scent. So that's the only thing I would be wary of. But if you don't mind patchouli and if you love cherry notes and rose, then I mean definitely check out this fragrance, you guys. It's incredible. I didn't think I liked patchouli. I didn't think I did, but I love this, you know. So maybe I don't mind patchouli as much as I thought I did. But anyway, that is Very Cherry Rose Chocolate Patchouli from Malik Perfumes. A gorgeous fragrance, and a huge thank you to Matthew for sending me this. I really, really appreciate that. It is a new gem in my collection. It's very beautiful and I really, really appreciate it. My next intoxicating fragrance is this beauty here, Ysl Libra Intense. Now, this is truly intoxicating, you guys, and I know this because I smelt it on somebody and I asked them what they were wearing. This fragrance has very, very nice projection, sillage, and it leaves a scent trail. I could still smell it where they had been, so it left a scent trail. I really noticed that. It was very significant. And I'd tried this perfume, but for some reason when I smelt it on this person, it didn't click with me that it was the same fragrance that I'd tried. Maybe it smells slightly different when it's actually on your skin, that can happen, so I don't know. But it smelt nicer than I remembered when I smelt it on the person. And it was so intoxicating. It was like this feminine, like kind of creamy, powdery cloud around them. It smelled incredible, you guys, honestly. This is a really nice, strong perfume. If you love lavender, if you love vanilla, I believe there's orchid in here as well. Orange blossom as well, you know, this is a beautiful fragrance. I love this perfume so much. I wasn't a fan of the original Libra. It wasn't for me. I know that fragrance is very hit or miss from what I've heard. People do either love it or hate it. But for me personally, the original Libra was very kind of cold, scratchy, tinny almost. It had no soul to it. It was very flat. It didn't blend well together to me. It was like sort of disjoined. It was sort of disjointed sort of components in there, you know, like this harsh musk, the lavender, then the orange blossom, and they were kind of jarring in my opinion. Again, this isn't fact, this is just how I perceived it, but that perfume wasn't for me, the original Libra. This one was a very pleasant surprise. I was so excited to add this one to my collection. I much prefer this one. And I was really glad about that actually, because I wanted the bottle for the bottle because it's so beautiful. And as it turns out, the juice inside is just as special as the bottle itself. So that is Ysl Libra Intense, a very rich, intoxicating fragrance. Very aromatic, quite sweet, kind of powdery, very feminine to me. Although I do see how some might find this leaning masculine. I mean, it's all subjective anyway, but I think because of the fresh, like, aromatic quality in here, it could be seen as reminiscent of some more traditionally masculine fragrances, but again, it's all subjective, so just give it a try. I wouldn't necessarily blind buy this one. But to me, it's beautiful, feminine, alluring, warming, inviting, very strong, very intoxicating, and I really enjoy this one. I haven't been reaching for it a lot recently. I think that's probably just because it's still been quite warm in general recently, but as the weather cools down, I'm definitely going to try and like wear this one a bit more and give it a bit more love. So that is Ysl Libra Intense, a very nice, strong lavender, warming orange blossom kind of fragrance. Next up today we have the gorgeous Athalia from Parfums de Marly. I love this fragrance, you guys. It is so incredible. Now, the funny thing with this one is I think I've actually grown to love it and appreciate it more as time has gone on, and that's quite that I really love it when that happens. You know, this fragrance has actually really grown on me and I'm really appreciating it more now. It is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys, this perfume, definitely don't blind buy it, by the way. Definitely purchase a sample if you can, because this perfume is kind of a wild card in a sense. It's very changeable, and I don't know if it changes due to the weather. I don't know if it changes due to skin chemistry changing. I don't know what it is, but almost every time I try it, it can smell a bit different. It's almost like its own living thing. This fragrance has its moods, you know. Sometimes it smells very creamy and powdery and floral, and other times it smells very incensey, very ambery, very warm, animalic. It's very changeable, and I can't explain it. It's very interesting to me how it does this. Today I can smell a powdery fragrance. That iris is coming through. It's very warm at the same time with the amber. I'm getting a little accent of incense, but it's kind of a whisper in the background, really. I believe there's bitter orange in here as well, with orange blossom. There might even be a hint of vanilla creaminess in here. This to me is such a perfect level of sweetness. I love the sweetness in here. It smells very natural to me. It's very sophisticated, very elegant, powerful. This fragrance to me is quite mature leaning. It's not what I would consider to be a youthful, light-hearted scent. This is definitely more elevated and mature. This is just a gorgeous fragrance. I love this one. Now, I have seen the new Oriana Parfums de Marly fragrance being advertised. Now, Oh, I really don't know about that one, you guys. Let me know what you think of this new fragrance from Parfum de Marly. I mean, I'm assuming not many people have actually tried it yet, if anyone, but just let me know what your thoughts are on it, because I looked at the notes and I do feel like it would be very hit or miss with me. So to be honest with you, I'm not the biggest fan of a super fruity perfume, and looking at the notes of Oriana, it looks mostly like it's composed of fruity notes, so I'm really not sure how I would get on with it. I was kind of tempted to blind buy it, believe it or not, but I sort of decided against that. It's extremely pricey to me and I didn't want to risk blind buying it and then being disappointed. You know, I almost pulled the trigger on it, but I decided just not to. I'm gonna hold off and like wait. And maybe later if I can acquire a sample or something, I'll give it a try. What do you guys think of the bottle of that one as well? Part of me loves it. I love the vibrance of it. It's very eye-catching, it's very striking. You know, it makes a statement and it's still in the same classic gorgeous bottle like these ones. And I love the shape of bottle. I really love this. But part of me prefers the sort of muted pastel tones of like Cassili, Delina, even Athalia. I prefer the look of this one. This looks a bit classier to me, the black and gold. What else? Even, you know, Safanad is very nice with the sort of orangey juice. And, you know, Sedbury is beautiful as well. So I think I kind of prefer the looks of the more, the older bottles, the kind of muted tones or like the monochromatic colours or the pastel tones. They're very me. The new one, it's very beautiful, but I'm just not sure about it, you guys. I don't know if it's a bit too bright. I mean, part of me loves that about it, but part of me isn't really sure. So like I say, I was kind of tempted to just blind buy the new one, Oriana, but I've decided sort of not to for now, but you never know, I might end up blind buying it, who knows. But anyway, the one I own, I love this one. This is very refined to me. It smells absolutely beautiful, kind of luxurious, extremely feminine, and I can't pinpoint why. I mean, concepts of, you know, what's feminine or masculine, it's all subjective and it's kind of your own preference and things like that, but for some reason this fragrance to me evokes pure feminine charm, like, you know, things like that, and it's just so incredible. I love this perfume so much. So that is Parfum de Marly Athalia. Next up today we have Linter D from Givenchy. This is a truly intoxicating perfume. This fragrance has your sort of bubblegummy tuberose notes. It's kind of fruity as well from the pear. There is orange blossom in here as well, and in the base notes there's patchouli and vetiver. This perfume is so good. I actually was considering decluttering this and I'm so glad I kept it in my collection. I'm going to be doing a video featuring perfumes that were saved from the declutter, and this perfume's going to feature in that video. So I'll explain more about that in the upcoming video for you guys. This perfume is extremely long lasting, and I don't know why I wasn't really expecting that from this, but it has kind of surprised me, you know. I have worn this to work a few times and by the end of the day it still smells just as strong as it was in the morning, and that's very rare for that to happen. It's quite often the case that I will wear a perfume to work and then halfway through the day it's gone, you know. It's kind of one of my go-to fragrances for work now. Because of the slightly bossy nature of this fragrance, the slightly sharp nature to it, it almost can give me a little bit of confidence, which is quite interesting, you know. It's rare for a perfume to do that to that extent, but yeah, it's kind of like it gives me a little bit of confidence, I would say, just because of the way that it's sort of smells, I suppose. So I really enjoy wearing this one to work. And it lasts all day. It's incredible, very intoxicating. I smelt this on somebody else and it was, you know, projecting very nicely. It was pretty strong. So again, if you're looking for a nice long-lasting strong perfume that's going to last you all day and then some, probably, I would check out Linter D. I may also have a Linter D fragrance on the way. It's either the Intense or the Rouge, so let me know which one you think I've ordered. But I do have another one on the way actually, so I've started to kind of build up my Linter D collection, I suppose. This is a solid perfume, you guys. It's really worth checking out. That is Linter D from Givenchy. And last up today, but by no means least, we have the gorgeous Lannery Tresor from Lancome. This is a beautiful fragrance, and it's funny because when I first tried it, I really did not get on with it at all. I actually strongly disliked it, and I can kind of see how this wouldn't be for everyone. Like, this isn't to everyone's taste, I wouldn't say. It's quite unique. I'm just gonna spray some onto the paper here. So immediately it's very, very fruity. You do get the fruits immediately. Very, very sweet, kind of smoky. You get that incense, there's caramel in here, there's patchouli, there is coffee notes as well. It's kind of hard to keep track of all the notes that are in here because there are so many. So this is quite a heavy scent, I would say. Really perfect for those evenings, especially perfect for the winter, like a winter evening out, or if you just wanted to have a badass signature scent, you could wear this, of course. So as much as this is very fruity, this is also very dark, mysterious, kind of smoky, sweet and gourmand. It has both of those things going on, almost in equal measure, I would say. It's just an incredible fragrance, you guys. This one again has very intense projection. It's very strong, you know, it's very, very intoxicating for sure. To me, this is very, very feminine. This reminds me of an immaculately dressed woman, sort of with dark, smoky eye makeup. A kind of, maybe she's wearing all black, very kind of glamorous, glitzy, maybe a red lipstick, that kind of thing. That's sort of what this reminds me of. Somebody very well put together, maybe about to go on like a night out, a girl's night out or something like that. It's probably more mature than it is youthful. This is not like a light-hearted fragrance by any means. This is quite a dark, alluring, mysterious, seductive kind of scent. It's just absolutely incredible, you guys. This perfume is something else. Very, very unique. I really, really like this one. I don't give this one an awful lot of love. I haven't had the chance to wear it an awful lot at all recently, but I'm hoping sort of in the autumn and winter I will be able to get some more use out of this. This would definitely be one of my top picks for a winter evening out. So that is the gorgeous Lannery Tresor from Lancome. So there we have it, you guys. Those are 5 incredible intoxicating fragrances from my collection. Please let me know if you've tried any of these. Let me know what your favourite intoxicating scent is. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then I'm going to leave some other videos on the screen right now that I think you would also really enjoy. So until next time, you guys, take care, and I will see you very soon on my next video. Bye!